4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another qualifiers round 1 video. This time we have series purple for us today, and as you saw earlier, we have seen pretty nice and really standout trucks for this series. Also some pretty good ones that I like to discuss and also share in this startup lineup here, starting with Bulldozer, driven by Blake Wood, Black Panther being driven by Barry Musauer, Blue Thunder being driven by Walker Stevens, and we have Bounty Hunter driven by Ethan Black, Bro Camino driven by Casimiro Barrito, we have Brodozer driven by Nick Pagliarulo, which is a wild card of a pick there, Captain's Curse driven by Jacob Burns, FS1 Cletus being driven by Levy Green, Full Charge being driven by Jessica Woods, and Higher Education being driven by Felix Bray. This will be one standout lineup here for this one. And we have seen some pretty good picks here and some driver lineups as well, especially the Nick Pagliarulo being driven by Brodozer. That one is a wild one. And now we're going to switch things over to the other half of Series Purple, where we have more drivers to choose and name for round 1. Starting with Horsepower being driven by Aiden Richards. We have Joker driven by Adam Young. King Crunch being driven by Jacob Grant. Mossmark Golden Retriever being driven by Charlie Walker. Nightstorm being driven by Freddie Powell, Radical Rescue being driven by Toby Riley, Saigon Shaker being driven by Kyle Armstrong, Stone Crusher being driven by Damian Bass, ThunderROARus being driven by Asher Hunt, and Wolf's Head being driven by Anya Daniels. Here's a look at the tournament bracket here for Series Purple round 1. We have seen some wild, not really seen wild trucks here. Well, we have. But here is a good look of what the tournament bracket will look like for round 1 today. This one is for round 1. Starting for the round 1 picks, we have Mossmark Golden Retriever versus ThunderROARus, King Crunch versus Wolf's Head, Blue Thunder versus Radical Rescue, and Black Panther will face Horsepower to fill those spots for the second round. Starting with for the first round, we have Charlie Walker and Mossmark Golden Retriever facing off against Asher Hunt and ThunderROARus. These two are ready to go as they head to the track in just a moment once the green light hits. And we're gonna see some pretty good races here as they head down. Looks like Golden Retriever has the lead there, and Asher makes a clean pass, and it looks to be like something happened between Golden Retriever. We're going to go for the replay. Right now, you could see Golden Retriever having the lead, and it looks like they hit the jump, causing them to slow down. ThunderROARus will advance. For the second race, we have Walker Stevens and Blue Thunder facing off against Toby Riley in Radical Rescue. These two trucks are heading down and ready to go as the green light shines, and then they go down to the track. Toby Riley is in the lead. Seems like Walker Stevens got some air, and it looks like he will advance. It looked pretty close, but we're going to go for the replay just to show you guys that he has won that race. So you could see Toby Riley making it pretty far, but Walker Stevens gets some air, and you could see that he cuts him short right before he crosses. For the third race, we have Jacob Grant and King Crunch facing up against Anya Daniels in Wolf's Head. So far, we've seen some pretty good races here, and we're about to see another one as they head down to the track. Looks like Anya's in the lead there. She gets some air, and it looks like Jacob hits the side and tries to save it, but unfortunately did not. We're going to go to the replay. You could see Anya already having the lead. King Crunch almost hits the outside wall, almost received a DNF there. Then for the final race, we have Barry Musauer and Black Panther facing off against Aiden Richards and Horsepower. These two, this is a pretty good one, and I'm really excited to see who comes out on top. As they head down on the track, Aiden Richards is in the lead there. He hits the sidewall, and it looks like Barry Musauer crashes and rolls over to the finish line. Don't know what happened. We're going to go for the replay there. You could see the two already heading down. Aiden Richards having the lead there, but Barry catches up. Aiden hits the sidewall, crashes into Barry Musauer, rolls over, but won. And Barry Musauer will advance to the next round. As these four have been determined, those who won their matches from round 1 will advance to round 2, and we are seeing some wild ones there. We have matches like Bro Camino facing Stone Crusher, Joker versus Bulldozer, ThunderROARus versus Higher Education, Wolf's Head versus Saigon Shaker, FS1 Cletus versus Blue Thunder, Nightstorm versus Black Panther, Bounty Hunter versus Captain's Curse, and we have Full Charge versus Bulldozer. This will be one wild second round there, as we are seeing some pretty good ones. Starting with this first one, it's Casimiro Barrito and Bro Camino facing off against Damian Bass and Stone Crusher. We're already at the start of round 2, as you can see these trucks ready to go. As they head down to the track, and it looks like Stone Crusher's having the lead there against Bro Camino, both getting some air, and it seems like it's going to be a close one. I'm not sure who to call this one, but we're going to go to the footage and see what happened. It was a very tight race between these two competitors. Here they go down to the track again. You could see both of them neck and neck there, and it is too close to call. Here's the slow motion review. Still no word, but we have a photo finish on who will advance. Wow, it looks really close, but if you look at the tires really carefully, it is going to be Stone Crusher by a drift. Look how in the photo on the right side, you can see Stone Crusher's wheel crossing it first before Bro Camino. Then we look at Bro Camino's tires, you can see how close it is to the finish, but it was Stone Crusher to take it. Then we have our round 1 winner, Asher Hunt and ThunderROARus facing off against Felix Bray in Higher Education. As these two trucks are ready to go, they're waiting for the cue, and as they head down to the track, they're going down. You can see Felix is already neck and neck with Asher, and it looks like they hit a collision, and it looks like Felix is about to make it, but no! They crash upside down. They didn't make it. We're going to go for the replay here. That was wild. Almost a finish there for Felix. It would have almost been a shocking result there, but you could see the two neck and neck there. He hits the sidewall, almost tries to go backwards to win, but it looks like they didn't. We're going to have to re-race there. It was a wild finish there for these two. But they race again. As you can see, Asher is now in the lead. Felix is way behind. He hits the wall. Asher makes a clean pass. And it looks like Felix is stuck on the ramp. Let's take a look at the replay once again. As you can see here, the two head down. Asher is already in the lead. Felix hits the wall, crashes into the right behind the ramp, and Asher will advance. We then have Levy Green and FS1 Cletus facing off another round 1 winner, and it is Walker Stevens in Blue Thunder. So far, ThunderROARus advances from round 1. Can Walker Stevens and Blue Thunder do the same as they head out of the track? And it looks like Walker Stevens is in the lead. Levy hits the wall and crashes in the same spot as Higher Education in the last race. Here's a look at the footage again. You can see Walker already in the lead there. He makes a clean jump, which helps him advance into the quarterfinals. Then next up, we have Ethan Black and Bounty Hunter facing off against Jacob Burns in Captain's Curse. So far, some chaotic races, but hopefully we see some more for you guys to enjoy. As these two head down to the track, it looks like Bounty Hunter is in the lead. They're both neck and neck, and it looks like it's going to be another tie, another close race. Not sure who to call this one. We're going to go for the replay just to see what happened. You could see Bounty Hunter and Captain's Curse already neck and neck with each other. Some pretty clean big air, but it is too close to call as we look at the slow motion view. And we do have a photo finish. And it is going to be Captain's Curse moving on by a tire. You could see Bounty Hunter already close, but was not enough to catch up to Captain's Curse as they move on to the quarterfinals. Looks like history repeated itself, just like with the Stone Crusher and the Bro Camino race. Next up, we have Adam Young in Joker facing off against Blake Wood in Bulldozer. We are already halfway from the round of 16, and these two trucks are heading down to the track. It looks like Bulldozer having the lead there for a while, with some big air, and it looks to be another close finish. We have seen 1, 2, now we're seeing a third close finish between these trucks. And you could see in the replay, both of them are neck and neck with each other, getting some air, and it is a close call. We're gonna go for the super slow-mo. You can see them hitting these big air moments, and it looks to be very close from here. It looked like Joker won, but let's see in the photo finish. And it will be Bulldozer advancing just by a tire. Looking how far Joker is and how close they were about to make it to the finish line. It was another close race there, and Bulldozer advances. Then we have Anya Daniels and Wolf's Head from round 1 facing off against Kyle Armstrong in the Shaker, or Saigon Shaker, as many of you call it. They're both ready in position, and down to the track they go. As you can see, Kyle Armstrong is in the lead there, and nudges and collides into Anya, and whoa, what a save by Kyle there. I didn't see it, and I didn't get to catch the commentary, but we're going to replay it just to show you guys what happened. You can see Kyle already having the lead there. Anya hitting Shaker, and he wheelbarrowed himself to victory. Next, we have Freddie Powell in Nightstorm facing off against Bari Musauer in Black Panther. Marvel Truck so far is doing well in this one. How will they do against Freddie in Nightstorm? And they head down to the track. You can see Bari Musauer catching up, and Freddie hits the side and will crash. And Bari still moves on. We're going to go for the replay just to see what's going on. Just have a little moment there just to see what's going on here with Bari. He makes a clean transition and moves on. But look at Freddie. He hits the side and crashes. And we're on to our final match of the round of 16. It is Jessica Woods in Full Charge facing off against Nick Pagliarulo in Brodozer. Now, Nick being in Brodozer is a wild pick. And as these two head down to the track, you can see Nick already having the lead there. Jessica Woods having some trouble, and they crash into the ramps. And Nick Pagliarulo, I believe, got some big air and manages to cross the finish line. Let's look at the replay here. You can see Nick Pagliarulo already in the lead there. Jessica having some trouble, and look at that big air from Nick as he progresses on to the next round, in which we will await and reveal the matchups for this next round. With this, we have determined our quarterfinalists. And here they are in order: Damian Bass in Stonecrusher, Asher Hunt in ThunderROARus, Walker Stevens in Blue Thunder, Jacob Barnes in Captain's Curse, Blake Wood in Bulldozer, Kyle Armstrong in Saigon Shaker, Bari Musauer in Black Panther, and Nick Pagliarulo in Brodozer. For the first one, we have Damian Bass in the Stonecrusher facing off against Asher Hunt in ThunderROARus. We are very close for the semifinal round, and we are getting in through to the first quarterfinal race. And here they go down to the track, and it looks like Asher already has the lead there. And there goes Stonecrusher, and it seems like they're going to collide with each other. And we take a look at the footage here in just a moment there. As you can see, as Asher heads down, you can see Damian catching up. But Asher blocks Damian's path, causing him to lose the race, while Asher moves on to the semifinal. Next up, we have Walker Stevens and Blue Thunder facing off against Jacob Barnes in Captain's Curse. This will be one exciting one. Let's see how this thing turns out. And we await for the green light. And there we go as the trucks head down. You can see Captain's Curse getting some huge air, and it looks like Walker Stevens is out of the track. We have not had a truck go off the track like this in a while, I think, except for Nightstorm. So this is the second time a truck has landed outside. You can see the truck's head going up, and you can see Captain's Curse with a big air, and Walker Stevens is out. For this next one, we have Blake Wood in Bulldozer facing off against Kyle Armstrong in Shaker. This is the third race of the quarterfinal round. We're just about a few moments to reveal the semifinal matches. And as these two trucks head down to the track, Shaker already having in the lead there, they go off the track, and it seems like they made a perfect save by landing on one of the Dirt Crew trucks. I don't even know what to call that. We're going to have to go for the replay just to see what happened there. It was something unexpected. I didn't think anybody would pull that off, but you can see Kyle already having the lead there. He hits one of the dirt crew trucks and pulls a what do you even call that? It doesn't matter what you call it. It's actually really impressive. Then we have Barry Musauer in Black Panther versus Nick Pagliarulo in Brodozer for the final quarterfinal race. And these two trucks head down to the track, and you can see both of them neck and neck with each other, pulling some big air, and it seems like it's going to be another close race. I don't know what to say. We have seen some very nice races, and here they go down to the track again in the replay, both pulling some big air, mostly Nick Pagliarulo, and they drift into the finish line there. Let's go for the super slow-mo. Here's that big air from Nick Pagliarulo, and they collide with each other, and they both perform this synchronized drift. And I think we have a photo finish here. And it looks to be Nick Pagliarulo in Brodozer moving on just by a tire, defeating Barry Musauer in Black Panther. After some chaotic and crazy quarterfinal races, we have determined our final 4 trucks for this first round of Series Purple qualifiers. We have our final 4, Asher Hunt in ThunderROARus, Jacob Barnes in Captain's Curse, Kyle Armstrong in Saigon Shaker, and Nick Pagliarulo in Brodozer. These are going to be some insane and chaotic matches here, as these 4 trucks are so far doing pretty well. We're going to start with ThunderROARus and Captain's Curse, and then we will move on to Saigon Shaker versus Brodozer. Who will move on to the final round? Let's see. Right here as they head down to the track, and it looks like ThunderROARus loses control, and it seems like Captain's Curse makes it past Asher, who is now stuck in between the ramps. We're going to go to the replay here just to show you guys what's going on. You can see Captain's Curse makes some big air, and you can see ThunderROARus crashes into between these ramps. And Captain's Curse will move on to the final round. Next up is going to be Saigon Shaker versus Brodozer. And here they go down to the track. You can see both of them neck and neck. Some pretty huge air by Shaker, and it's a close race. We're going to go for the replay just to see what's going on. Not sure who to call or who won this one. It's a pretty wild guess there. You can see Nick Pagliarulo already ahead, but Kyle Armstrong performed some huge air, a sky wheelie even. And we're going to look at the slow motion view. Some nice sky wheelie by Kyle Armstrong, and it's too close to call even. And as we head to the photo finish, yeah, it is going to be a tie between Kyle Armstrong and Nick Pagliarulo. We're going to have to do a re-race here between these two competitors. And as they head down to the track, it looks like the two are neck and neck. Kyle Armstrong loses control and crashes outside of the track. And it looks like Nick Pagliarulo also crashes as well, losing some control. And it seems like we're going to go for the replay here just to see what happened. Kyle Armstrong loses control, so does Nick. But he makes it past, and he drifts or slides to the finish. And with that, we have determined our final match for Series Purple. Captain's Curse versus Brodozer, aka it is going to be Jacob Barnes and Captain's Curse versus Nick Pagliarulo in Brodozer. These two trucks have been phenomenal in this qualifying round, even for round 1 even. These two are already there, meeting up as we prepare ourselves for the final match. Who do you think will win the first round of Series Purple? Will it be Jacob Barnes and Captain's Curse, or will it be Nick Pagliarulo in Brodozer? These two trucks are ready to go for the final match. Who will be coming out on top as they head down to the track? Looks like Captain's Curse has the lead there. Brodozer loses some control, and so does Captain's Curse as they fall. Let's look at the replay here just to see what happened between these two drivers, or these two trucks, and as you can see, Captain's Curse having the lead there, but Brodozer finds a way through the pack as Captain's Curse tumbles at the very end. And with this, we have determined our first winner of round 1 of Series Purple. It is Nick Pagliarulo in Brodozer. And there is the truck all positioned and ready for the little camera shot. As you can see, the truck has made some amazing improvements over the past few times that it raced. Even though Nick Pagliarulo and Brodozer doesn't seem right to most people, tonight has proven different as it won the first round of Series Purple. And with this, we're going to take a look at the series standings after that racing event. As Nick Pagliarulo takes first place in Brodozer, second place we have Jacob Barnes and Captain's Curse. Then we have Kyle Armstrong, Asher Hunt, who are sharing 10 points with Kyle. Then we have Barry Musauer in Black Panther, Walker Stevens in Blue Thunder, Blake Wood in Bulldozer, and Damian Bass in Stone Crusher, all sharing 7 points. Then from 9th to 10th, we have Ethan Black in Bounty Hunter and Casimiro Barrito in Bro Camino, both sharing 5 points. Now we're going to look at the other side of the standings, or the other half of the standings, to show you more trucks that are sharing 5 points and the relegation zone so far. From 11th to 16th place, we have trucks such as FS1 Cletus, Full Charge, Higher Education, Joker, Nightstorm, and Wolf's Head, and those drivers are the following: Levy Green, Jessica Woods, Felix Bray, Adam Young, Freddie Powell, and Anya Daniels, all sharing 5 points, who are safe from relegation for now. As for 17th to 20th, aka the relegation zone, those drivers and trucks sharing 3 points are Aiden Richards in Horsepower, Jacob Grant in King Crunch, Charlie Walker in Mossmark Golden Retriever, and Toby Riley in Radical Rescue. Note that this is only just the beginning of qualifiers, and so the relegation zone is not fully confirmed until we progress into the second round all the way to the 7th round for not only Series Purple, but for the rest of the colored groups for the standings whenever we get ready for the World Finals. With that, Series Purple has finished, and we have seen some chaotic racing as well as some impressive saves by certain trucks like Saigon Shaker, and of course some like Captain's Curse, and of course the winner Brodozer, who have come to perform well-deserved stunts and shows for this one, and including some intense races here, some big air moments, some wow factors, and combination of pretty much everything that you can imagine for Series Purple. This is also the second to last series of round 1 before we head things over to round 2. That is right, the final series standings is Series Cyan, and things are about to get really interesting here as we have 5 veteran drivers facing off against 15 rookie drivers and rookie trucks. And with that, we will conclude things here. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Rainbow X, and we will see you in the next one.